The decision I had to make, just like students do now, is the choice between a professional qualification or university degree. And I didn't have an institute where I could go to study for an ACCA, unlike now when we have a purpose-built academy. Well, yes, out of the thousands of people that applied for a job each year in Big Four firms, I was one of the few that was successful. I was successful because I was prepared for the workplace. I did not need to be trained, and in 2008, when employers were trying to keep their costs low, people who already had a professional qualification were the most sought after. I am now a lecturer with PwC. Without my ACCA, I could not have started my career on such a high note. The ACCA taught me real-life application. I was an expert, and so I could make good decisions. I didn't need to waste any time being trained, and so my career progression was relatively quick. ACCA is a great place to start because there are no prerequisites and it makes you instantly employable. This is a very normal route to take. Typically, ACCA members will want to specialize further. The CFA is one of the world's most prestigious investment credentials. Above all, it gives you credibility, and in this tough market, credibility is very important. I want my students to be credible and trusted. Their professional qualifications will open career paths that a university degree simply cannot. It's important to have expertise, and this can only come from getting a professional qualification. My students will face the big wide world. It's wise to realize that life is a journey of lifelong learning, and we all have to start somewhere. The only question I ask my students is that, do they know what they want to do moving forward in life? If they do, and accounting and finance is what they want to pursue, then the next thing I tell them is to not waste any time and start ACCA. ACCA is not just an accounting professional qualification, it's a gateway to numerous other professions that you can enjoy after completing your qualification. Well, I understand what it feels like to be a student because I am one. My role at PwC's Academy is of an ACCA lecturer, but at the same time, I am a CFA student. I usually finish my classes and take all my students to the library so that we all can study together. I feel like one of them, and I know my students find it reassuring to see that their lecturer is going through the same ordeal. The brilliant thing is that I can set a live example to my students. Getting a professional qualification is even more important now than it was before. I am a firm believer that knowledge is power. Only through knowledge can there be advancement. More importantly, in my profession, it's all about conveying that knowledge. I must be credible if I am to help others realize their ambitions. And for that, I will need to continue studying. That's the vision I have for myself and my students. The most valuable lesson I have learned is that there really is no substitute for education. Get a professional qualification, be the best at what you do, because there is simply no other substitute. At the end of the day, I want my students to be good human beings. I want all my students to be high achievers. They are already halfway there simply by making a choice to study for a professional qualification. It is so much more important now to stand out from the crowd. The job market is tough, and if I can make it that little bit easier for them, then I will continue educating myself and enhancing their skills and knowledge. It gives you an edge. It makes you instantly employable. You gain credibility and prestige. People trust you and seek your advice. It can make the difference between you looking for a job or a job looking for you. Lastly, If I was to tell you that by 2020 the world will require an additional 9.3 million accountants, how would that make you feel about your future? I think it's about time you got professionally qualified.